We're back with James Martinez. We're talking, actually, he's the chairman of the Workforce Investment Board. If you want to chime in on our conversation tonight, please dial 632-8255 or 632-TALK. James, the programs you have the what's called the WE program, the Work Experience Activity. What is that about?
Well, the Work Experience Activity actually allows people to enter the workforce and learn a little more. And we have, a lot of times, a lot of the agencies that are involved are actually taking in these folks, but we want to encourage more private sector businesses to participate in the program. And so these people that are eligible under the WEA grants are able to go into the workforce and experience some of the work that's done in the private sector.
So this is basically a program you get into if you've never had a really regimented work. You could be a homemaker, but out there in say private sector, an office setting, whatever like that.
That's correct, and they expect the employer, whoever is taking in the client, to also teach them and train them on some of the work ethic, around their business or their agency. So that's where they get the work experience and also some kind of training on business ethics.
Now, what is the qualification to get in that program? Because obviously the person, male or female, may come in and say, "Look, I've never worked before, but in a regimented setting, I've been a homemaker or I've been a caregiver, for this amount of time, and so now I want to try to do this." How do you qualify people to whatever industry is out there? How do you place them and make sure they're rightly placed in the appropriate
the first thing they need to do is actually go to the one-stop career center. They would have counselors there to assess their needs and assess their current job skills, and then try to place them in an area that they feel comfortable in or have maybe some experience, and then grow from that. They will also prescribe maybe some training that would be that is provided to get them to land that job. So I think without qualifying them, just telling them that you got to be qualified, is the first thing that needs to be done is a visit to the One Stop Career Center over at the GCIC building, and have the caseworkers talk to them, and then kind of navigate through the program and what they qualify for.
Now, when you place somebody, let's move forward. You've interviewed somebody; they're placed in the program, ready to go into the workplace. Now, the employer, what is the cost offset on that? I mean, the employer, is there an employer contribution to the salary of this person versus the federal contribution, or how is that?
That's going to probably depend on the program that
they signed up for,
or that they were qualified for. There is what they call the OJT, on-the-job training, where they get referred to a company, and through the WEA funds are actually paying 50% of their wages, of their salary. And in return, the company or the agency that took in the client would then train them, again, as we talked about in the work experience program, would train them to in whatever field that they're in, whether it be a administrative assistant or something else.
But these companies that would have to be registered then with AHRD to be a part of this program, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, because you definitely have to make sure this company is legit, and they're paying, of course, the fair wages and all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they have to be registered in that. Now let me ask you this: what is the time frame of, say, the WE program, the training program? Is this a training, a initial training, and then there's a period where the training stops, and then now you become a full-time employee, or is this a training area, and then after that, now you go back to the program, and then they try to play? How does that work?
One program that I'm very familiar with, because I've had experience with that program, is the OJT program. And in fact, one of my staff had come from that program. And what it is, it was an OJT program that was where AHRD paid 50% of this person's salary, and of course we train them to be an administrative assistant within our organization. After 6 months, we can opt to keep this person and then hire on as a full-time employee of our organization, or say, no, it didn't work out, we've got to send her back to you, but go ahead and send somebody else. Maybe we can work with that person. And so with the employee that I have currently, and that worked out well for both us, our organization and her, and so we hired her on a full-time basis, and she's now a full-time employee of the KUAM contractors, and is making them subsidized salary for, or she's in unsubsidized employment for GCA.
Yeah. We have a caller that wants to chime in. Louis from Jigo. Louis, welcome.
Hey, good morning. Good evening, Jeff.
How you doing?
The reason why I'm calling is I used to have a handyman license, okay, for a small business. And when I went up to renew a license for a handyman, they told me that I can't renew the license. I have to go to a contract license and get a license there. I mean, why should I go there and get a contract license when it's only a handyman that was asking?
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar. I remember you calling my show with that. Let's get off there. And actually, the gentleman, he's a handyman and has been a handyman for years. And I guess now he's starting up his business again as a handyman. And he was told by, I guess, Reverend Tex that he had to go through the KUAM contractors or to be licensed or maybe some certification to be licensed as. And he's asking. Why?
I don't know. Well, first of all, there's a difference here. We're not the Guam Contractors Licensing Board.
Absolutely, yeah.
We are a private corporation and not a government entity. My understanding is there is a handyman license under the Revenue and Taxation, which is just like a business, regular business license. A contractor's license, if you're doing like minor repairs, fixing a door, caulking windows, repairing tiles, things of that nature, is not a full-time trade, so to speak, or a specific trade. So as a handyman, there is a license a classification for handyman, which is a business license over at Revenue and Taxation. Now that's my understanding. I don't think there is a classification under the Guam Contractors Licensing Board for a handyman. I don't know who told him what or whatever, but I think that the licensing requirement for a handyman is not necessary.
Actually, maybe the best thing you do is just give you guys a call and maybe say, hey, no, this is out of our field.
No, absolutely.
And then you can do that. So caller, give him a call. We'll give you the number before the end of the show to give the Contractors Board a call, and then you tell them your problem, and they'll say, hey, yeah, we can do something about it, or it's out of our hands. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.